Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel for another Waffle on Wednesday. So Pete, what are you going to bash your gums about this week? Well, I'm going to pose the question, should you join a blacksmithing group? Well, the answer is obviously yes, okay, because it's got all of the advantages and none of the disadvantages. Let's just say you're an absolute rank beginner. You've never done it before, but you may have seen it at a craft fair or, maybe something like that. Or you've seen it on the internet. You've been watching blacksmithing YouTube videos. I've got plenty. Have a look at them. Anyway, you looked at it and you thought, that's great. Yeah, I'd like to have a go at that. You can learn in isolation without having somebody standing next to you showing you how to do things, but it's very, very difficult. And the best way to get basic instruction is to go to your local group, if you've got one available where you live. Now, they can go through a basic course, you can learn all sorts of things, but it's not just about the basic learning. There's other opportunities there as well. You've got things like networking. You get to meet other people, of your experience level. I know when I very first started, there was 2 or 3 of us, and we all came along on the same day to learn. So you've got that kind of empathy with each other when you just can't seem to get it right. Other people there that are a lot more experienced, and if you need some advice, they might say, well, if you're struggling, ring me up and I'll explain things over the phone maybe. So there's all that kind of thing as well. The second biggest advantage I found, especially when I went to my first lessons in a blacksmithing group here in Western Australia, and that's equipment. There's people that have got excess equipment. People are always on the mooch. They're looking around, they're buying things. I do it. I've bought vices and anvils and all sorts of stuff. I've got them on hand, and then people, a newcomer comes to the group, I'm really keen, I want to buy an anvil, a small one that I can keep in my home workshop. You can say, well, Fred over there, he's just bought an old anvil, you might be able to get it off him, And quite often that is exactly what happens. People buy stuff cheap, they keep it on hand in their workshop, newcomer comes along and they'll pass it on, at that same price usually. The other advantage is if you need a bit of specialist equipment that's really, really hard to come by, there's always someone that's got one or someone that knows someone that's got one, and you might be able to get in touch and you might be able to find stuff that way. So that can really boost your learning. It can really, really get you going. It can really build up your equipment much, much faster than just seeing it on YouTube and thinking, that's great, I'll have a go at it. Let's move on a little bit now to being more experienced. Let's just say you've been blacksmithing for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, something like that. You know what you're doing, that's fantastic, but you're still working alone in your little smithy, in your back garden or wherever you are. You can go and join one of these groups and you can join in with those people that are at the same experience level as you. Let's call them tradesman levels. Let's just say tradesman level blacksmiths, and you can join in the camaraderie of that group. You can talk about the things that you've made and they can show you stuff that they've made. You might learn a little technique or two that you've never seen before, and that can really boost up your general overall knowledge. So that's another good reason to go, even if you are experienced. And then there's that third group, people that have been doing it for 25, 30 years. They've got all that experience, they're getting a bit older now. It's time to give back. It's time to get in there and show these new guys coming on, hey, I'll show you how to do that thing, or how to keep that fire going, or how to make that set of tongs. Or if you see people making a few, less than good moves with their blacksmithing, you say, hey, maybe you could try it like this, or maybe you could try it like that. You've got the opportunity to give back through your association, through your group, and that's absolutely fantastic. That happened to me. I learned under an actual qualified engineering blacksmith. He was in his late 70s, something like that. I was in my early 30s. So he was like the chief instructor of our group. If you really want to know something technical, you went and saw him. And he would kind of get you going when you first got there and get you practicing and all that kind of stuff with the stuff that he learnt through his career. So okay, there you go folks, that's the end of this Waffle on Wednesday. Get out there and join your local blacksmithing group. You will not regret it, I absolutely guarantee it. So that's the end of this video folks. Thanks very much for listening to me warbling on for another week, and until next Wednesday, thanks for watching this video. See you later.